Hello, team leaders, and welcome to today's session. We are going to be going through the Membership Experience Blue Code, which is a book for team leaders. So in the past, we used to have what was called team standards, but then we changed it to the Membership Experience Standards so that we can be more intentional. We want to go into the history of what happened, what changed, but just know like right now, what we work with is no longer team standards. We work with membership experience standards, which I refer to as MXP standards. So when you hear me saying MXP standards, I just mean membership experience standards. So in this book, we'll just break down what they are and what our role is in playing in ensuring that these standards are fulfilled. So we have what we refer to as, what does it consist of? It refers to, it consists of, we have what is called a membership experience funnel. We will go through that. And the membership experience standards timelines and the membership experience step by step. So we have 16 standards in total. That's something I want you to keep in mind. So first we will go through the membership experience funnel. So membership experience funnel was created to ensure that we facilitate the journey of a customer in the best way possible. Remember what happens basically, like technically, if you think back to your own ISEC journey and how you got to this point in time where you're taking the team leader academy, like whether you're a VP, you're an LCP, you're a team leader, you get into this journey before you even joined the ISEC. The first thing you did was you signed up, you were interviewed, then you attended an induction seminar, you were assigned a portfolio. And then now with the new experience with the new model of membership experience that we have within ISEC in Uganda, you have to take the national education cycle for you to become a recognized member of ISEC in Uganda, then move on to sign the member contract and so on and so forth. So what a membership experience funnel consists of is basically this. So we start from a lead. I'll just explain what they are. I won't focus on what is happening here because these are just components that are more relevant for members of the talent management portfolio. So I will just go through what is below them. So first of all, it's a lead. So a lead is someone who has the potential to become a member of ISEC in Uganda. An applicant is someone who moves from not just being a potential member, but they see the sign-up link and they sign up to become a member. Next, they become accepted. In this case, a member becomes accepted. An applicant becomes accepted when they pass the interview. Remember, we have ISEC interviews where we are able to gauge the motivation, we gauge the experience, the skills to see whether they suit what we are recruiting for. Next, we have approval. An applicant, becomes approved when they attend an induction seminar or an onboarding conference, whichever the case, depending on the reality that you are working with and as an LC. Then they become realized. I'll just refer to because it's realized engagement, but I don't want to break it down, all of that. It's just realized. It's lead, applicant, accepted, approved, realized. A member becomes realized. Now they've signed up, they've passed the interview, they've come for the induction seminar. Next, they have to complete the national education cycle, which is actually what you're doing within 2 weeks of becoming members. And once they do that, only then will they become realized members, and then they will move forward to sign a membership contract guided by you, the team leader, right? Which will contain their job description, the number of hours that's required of them, and other requirements. It will also define what would lead them to be fired or put on probation and how that process will take place. We did that so that we can have people that are more intentional about their ISEC journeys. And then after that, now member then is assigned a role an expert, and they now start their practical experience with ISEC. And then a member is marked as a finished when they complete the experience. So they leave ISEC as an organization and they complete a particular experience. For example, I come in as a team member for IGV. I'm an EP manager. I serve my 1-year term, and once I am done, I apply for a team leader role. Then I will be counted as a finished because I have finished that particular role. Then only when I complete the net promoter score, a Google form downscaled that is at the national level, that will be sent to all of your LCVPTM, so that if you finish one experience, you have to fill the net promoter score so that we see the quality of experience we gave you in that particular experience. Then this said member, let's go back to the member who is an EP manager. They decide to apply for LCVP IGV, then they become a lead for this particular position. And then the cycle continues. It's a very, very interesting concept. If that did not make sense to you, you can always, re-watch this video as many times as you need to. now when like they're complete, then what we explained, finishing your AP manager experience, then deciding to apply for the PhD, that's an advanced. But we have members who they are in their final year of school and they can't continue engaging with AIESEC as a member, then they become an alumni, which the LCP is in charge of ensuring that they have that smooth transition from a member to alumni and keeping the alumni network. So that is it for the MXP final. It is a very interesting tool. I really love explaining it. So now we go to the member experience standards and their timeline. So here, this up here is just the membership experience funnel that we just went through. And here are the standards based on where they are applied. So for example, you can see that the job description is applied in the approval stage. The personal development tool, like by the time a member is starting their experience, then they should already have their job description. The personal development evaluation, this happens on a monthly basis. So it should be done then. Actually, I realized that this slide can actually get very, very like long. So I may explain some of the things here and then we'll just peruse through the rest. So kindly bear with me. Transition delivery. This is where the member is any tools that they will require. For example, an EP manager, they have to be transitioned on the standards tracking tool. That is a material that they need to have. So transition is basically moving materials from the person that had that role, the person that has this role, just ensuring that they have given out the materials that are required for this particular role. Onboarding delivery, this is where the member learns about what is AIESEC, the AIESEC way, the AIESEC values, and this is done during the induction seminar, where we introduce them to the AIESEC way, our values, our why, our what, our how. We also tell them about our products. What exactly do we do? How do we achieve peace and fulfillment of humankind potential? We also introduce them to the AIESEC departments, so that as they're leaving, they have an idea of where exactly they will fit in best before they are distributed by the LCVP TM for the particular LC that they are in. Next, we have the education cycle delivery. For now, on a national basis, we have the national education cycle, which is what you are doing right now. And as I said, if you notice something, the education cycle delivery goes on during the entire duration from approval to the end of the realization. This means education shouldn't just stop here. And I love that this video is specifically for team leaders. Don't just stop education at the national education cycle when now once you've tracked your members, that's it. No, education is a continuous process. We have made all the slides accessible. If you want, and there's a concept your members want you to explain to them, do it during the departmental meetings. For LCVPTMs, let's have education during the LCMs. Basically what I'm trying to say is education is very important and it is a continuous process. Then we have, when it comes to the social aspect, so first of all, the membership experience standards are divided into 3 aspects, spheres, if I may call it. One is the work sphere, which encompasses everything the member needs to do with regards to work. The social sphere is the aspect of, people join AIESEC to network, right? And be part of something bigger than themselves, be part of a big community. So that is the social aspect, which governs that aspect. And then we have the environmental sphere, which covers aspects such as, does a member have workspaces, excuse me, their engagements with their team and all of that. So that is what is covered there. So these are the spheres that I just talked about, the social sphere, the work sphere, and the physical sphere, which are then further broken down into that. You can pause this video and just go through how they are broken down, because if I start explaining everything, again, as I said, this video could get too long. So we talked about, so in the work sphere, we have, it's divided into 3 key parts: job design and job support. And then within that job design and job support, we have the different standards. We have the job description, which we talked about, and the personal development evaluation. So here we have a copy of the PDP tool. Kindly make a copy of it. In a later video, I have gone more in depth into the nitty-gritties of the personal development tool. I just wanted to make sure that is here. So for us, we use the personal development plan, which is called the PDP tool. So it's a tracking system that is maintained for each and every member. Meaning, for example, if you are a VP and you have 10 members, you need to make copies for each of your 10 members, meet them on a monthly basis, and fill the personal development tool with them. So what it does, as we can see here, is that members have set functional and personal goals for their whole experience. Remember, as the team leader, you technically are part of their accountability network, if I may call it. So that's it with the personal development tool, personal development evaluation, as it's referred to among the standards. And with the job description, I already described that before, so I will not go through it again. Job support, we talked about a transition. Job support involves 3 standards: transition delivery, onboarding delivery, and education cycle delivery. I went through that, so I will not repeat it again. If you need to, you can rewind and go through again what that means. And if you need to, again, you can just take a look at the slides in the description box. Next, we have community. Now here I will go more in depth because I did not go into that before. So under community, we have social networking and community rules. So what do those standards entail? So social networking, the social networking space with different groups of people will leverage the relationship of members within the organization, gives them a bigger perspective of the organization. So social networking involves aspects such as conferences, involves the LCMs. So members need to be plugged into that. They need to be made aware of that. And you as their team leader, you need to ensure that you are making them aware of it. You are pushing them. When we have very few members from Kyambogo attending, we will ask the LCBPTM for Kyambogo, but the LCBPTM will be following up with you, the team leader IGB, on why we only have 1 member out of the 7 that you have attending the conference. So it's up to you to make sure that you push them to do that. Community rules, these are rules, values, and behaviors that represent what the community cares about. So these are just a set of rules governing how they should engage on these various platforms. A good example can be, for example, in the WhatsApp group for your LC, people should not start sending like promotional materials, like maybe let's join this pyramid scheme, like community rules. What are the rules that you have in ISEC and Kyambogo for, in ISEC and UCU, in ISEC and MOOCs, in ISEC and MOOC for engagement within the community? And we have community engagement, which is a further breakdown, which contains 2 standards: community channel and community engagement activity. So what the community channel, the principle behind this is that members understand how they can engage with the community through these community channels. Community channels encompasses ensuring members understand how to use the various channels that are there. If ISEC in Uganda uses WhatsApp, make sure that they are in the LC group, they are in the MC group. If there is a commission group for OGX members and your member is part of the OGX, make sure that they are there. Make sure you've assigned them a role on Expa, make sure they know how to use Expa. That is something that you need to deliver. And as you can see, you deliver it within the first 2 weeks of them becoming realized. When they've now become official members, then add them to the groups, assign them a role on Expa. Then community engagement activity. Community has a defined and structured rewarded recognition system. That's what R&R defines. And basically, rewards and recognition is a way to appreciate your members. You don't have to wait for your LCBPTM to do that on an LC basis. If you have team members, reward them. You can create a small poster. If you have the money for it, if your LC has the money for it, buy them something small like an ISEC branded wristband, take them out for ice cream. Recognize your members, even just during a team meeting, applaud a particular member who has been exemplary in terms of their work. That is basically what community engagement activity entails. Like, how do you keep engaging your members so that, because at the end of the day, sometimes the morale dies down. So you have to keep engaging and keeping them accountable, using the monthly one-on-ones to sign to fill the personal development tool. Then we are in the final sphere, which is environment and well-being, which is divided into, which contains 2 key standards, which is workspace and mental health and well-being. I mean, this is not the final one, sorry. It's part of the environmental sphere though. So under that, we now have a portion called environment and well-being. And under this one, we have 2 standards, which is workspace and mental health and well-being. So The principle behind the workspace is for members to perform effectively. They need to be aware of the tools that they can use and the workspace at their disposal. For example, if there is an LC office, let them be aware of that. If there are routines, let there be clear working routines for members to facilitate their productivity. Let them know, okay, we have our departmental meetings every Thursday at this and this time. LCMs every Friday at this and this time. We have this and this set conferences. Set routines clearly with your members and make sure they are aware of them. You can see delivered within the first 2 weeks. And then the mental health and well-being. The principle behind this, as leaders of our LCs, we're responsible for creating a healthy environment personally and mentally. This can be, you follow up, what you deliver this using the one-on-one spaces. Kindly remember that one-on-ones are mandatory. It is mandatory for you as a team leader to have one-on-one spaces with each of your team members on a monthly basis. You don't just fill the personal development plan, but you also check in on the member. How are they doing? How are they balancing work and ISEC and school and everything? How is home doing? It's just for you to ensure that you are creating a healthy environment for them personally and mentally. So next we have team practices, which is still under the environmental sphere. And this encompasses quite a number of standards. So we will go through each of them. So we have the first being team building. Team building basically refers to, as a team leader, you must structure and appropriate building phase for your team in order to fix solid basis to start the term in the right way. So basically what building a team entails is, first of all, as a team, you need to know which direction you're going in. You need to know what steps will get you to that direction. You need to know what rules you will be following, what routines, as I said, which is an iteration from what I said. So like a repetition, right? So basically that's what team building entails. Like within the first weeks, within the first month, you have clearly downscaled, like every member of the team understands the goal that they're working towards, understand the rules, they are part of every engagement platform that they need to be, their routines are there for the number of team meetings that are had on a monthly basis when they are had, and all of that. Team engagement, a team leader, this basically means you need to understand how your team members are feeling and if they are enjoying the experience, right? So it involves aspects like working times, delivering working hours, where you as a team work together on a project. This can be, for example, you can turn a departmental meeting into a workspace. Like once you've done debriefing, you've done an education space, you turn it into a workspace. Like, guys, let's brainstorm on how to start a new project under this SDG. Feedback spaces, you have to ensure you give feedback. This is done on a monthly basis using the one-on-ones that you have with your members again. Then the social spaces, these are basically like team days, if I may call it. So it's advised to have them on a monthly or quarterly basis that members get to know one another outside of the team, right? So because you're able to work better with someone who you know, who you understand, and who you are able to empathize with. And next we have team performance. So as a team, you are responsible for the performance of your team. So you have to ensure that each member has the knowledge that they require. So how are you able to gauge team performance? First of all, is doing check-ins with your members, tracking your members' goals and achievements. We have a performance tracking tool, as I said, in Uganda. I will make sure to link it below. In case I do not, kindly follow up with your LCBPTM and they will follow up with me and you will get the tool yourself. This is just a tool that breaks down what is required from each and every member to achieve the goal that you have as a team. Next is team meetings. Remember, these are mandatory and should be done on a weekly basis. Monthly reviews, like maybe the fourth team meeting of every month, you make sure that you review the entire month, like in terms of the goals that you had and how far you are in achieving them. The other is accountability and reporting system. You have to keep your members accountable and there has to be a reporting system, which is why I again reference to the performance tracking tool. So that if someone came up to you and said, okay, you said you have this goal, you have this number of members, but where is the proof that you guys have been making any progress? Then able to have like reporting systems, not just for like an external coming in, but also so that you're able to review your year properly. And also so that once you're leaving, your successor in this particular role does not have such a hard time building up their team again. The next one is team development. Remember, members, people join AIESEC to develop their leadership skills, to grow their skills. So what you as a team leader are supposed to do is, first of all, deliver team lead spaces. Structure a lead space every 2 months in order to focus on what your team wants to achieve and how the team experience can contribute to this experience. As you can see, conduct it every 2 months during your team meeting. And then we have practical learning / simulations to deliver practical learning spaces to increase your team performance and develop your members functionally. This means, for example, if your EP manager uses Google Sheets a lot, but you feel that their skills are lacking, you do that for them. You maybe have, like during the departmental meeting, you teach them how to use Google Sheets, to incorporate Google Sheets. And for you, you learn on YouTube and then you come teach. Like, that's what being a leader is. Going out of your way to grow your members and be concerned about their growth, about their development, about their AIESEC journey. Because being a team leader, it's not just your journey, but it's yours plus someone else, which is what makes it really interesting. And then finally, we have team closing. Like, once it's the end of your term and you're leaving, don't just leave like that. Like, don't just leave like, okay, peace out, guys. You get, there's certain steps that you can do. First of all is deliver a touch point to close the team experience, review the team experience in terms of performance and team development. You can create, you can incorporate a feedback space, like how was the entire term for everyone? How was the 1 year for each and every member? What could have been done better? Because at the end of the day, we can all benefit from feedback. Next is just transition. This, for example, if I am VP IGV, for the next person, ensure that you have all the materials that you need. Ensure that you transition them on the role, help them understand their job description, even do shadow working with them for a while so that they understand. So that is it from me. I have tried to keep this video as short as possible because the MXP standards can truly be long. I wanted us to go through each of the standards and understand how to deliver them, because we have what is referred to as a membership experience standards tracker, which is how we, the talent management portfolio, are able to measure the kind of experience that members are having. So we have one that your LCVP TMs will be sending to you. Remember, they will take you through how to fill it. So because this video is already long enough, but remember, take the quiz, go through these slides as many times as you need to, because I understand this is a new concept. All the best and see you on the other side.